Good morning, my name is Nico, and my micro-teach session this morning is on making a blow gun made out of paper. Just give you a handout quickly. Sorry, you included in it now, Our objectives is by the end of this lesson, you should all be able to create a blow gun made out of paper. I was going to measure at the end of it, and we'd have a bit of a competition to measure the distance of the thing, but I think space might be a problem there, so we'll test accuracy as opposed to doing that. Anybody have any experience with blow guns? Have you ever made a blow gun out of paper before? No. So, okay, so this is going to be new to everybody apart from me who used to do this as a kid. What we'll do first is I'm going to give you the papers that you're going to need. You need 2 pieces of paper, an A4 size and a smaller bit. I'll give you a pre-read. Please don't start doing it. I'll demonstrate first, and we'll assess you afterwards by you creating your own blow gun. Okay, so what we need is scissors, sticky tape and the paper, and I'll demonstrate first. The initial part is to make the tube for the blow dart, and this is done by just taking the A4 size piece of paper, rolling it up into a tube so that the diameter is about, I said, between 1 and 2 centimeters. There's a bit of a picture over there. You want it to end up looking something like this. So ideally you're going to need 3 pieces of sticky tape, which I probably should have cut first. And the trick to this as well is to keep the paper as straight as possible. So you want to end up with something that looks like that. We'll take a piece of sticky tape. Also, I'm just going to use my teeth, but there are scissors on the table for you to use. Like I said, if you don't mind just waiting until I've finished demonstrating before we do that. And just a note on health and safety. Once you've constructed them, obviously don't point them at any of your colleagues in the room. We'll have a designated safe area when we test them, and we'll fire them into that area and then try hit a target. We're not actually going to put points on these, but if you wanted to, you'd just use a pin that you'd use in sewing or something, drop down the middle, but I'll get to that when we get to the dart making phase, as soon as I get this piece of sticky tape. I got it. Oh no, that's usually it. Thank you. Okay, so now that you have your tube, you can just place it down. You then take the second piece of paper, and you need to make a cone that eventually is going to look something like that. And what I was telling you, what we're not going to do today is actually put a point on it, but you know, you get the pins in sewing kits that has the little plastic ball on the end of it. Let's just put a drop of glue on that, drop it down the cone, let it set, and you can use it as a proper blow dart to pin into a target, etc. To make the cone, just take the other piece of paper, grab one of the corners, and want a really tight cone so it's got a proper point on it. So if you just roll it like so. So it's got a nice point on it. Another piece of tape. And you want to stick it quite close to the bottom and become apparent a bit later why. Okay, so we've got our tube. Because the dart at the moment you can see it's a bit too big to fit into that. So what you do is you pop it in there until it meets resistance. Take your scissors and literally just cut the end of it. So you have your dart and your blowgun into there, and it's just a short, sharp burst. I'm just going to stand over there, it's not going to hurt anybody, and it's literally just that never happens. Obviously the problem being I haven't made it straight enough. Right. You can see the line over there, so it's obviously concave like that. It doesn't normally work, but just try and make that a little bit smaller. No, that's not right. That's the principle of it. Obviously this one. Oh, okay. Okay, that should have gone a lot better than that. Hopefully your ones are going to work nice and properly. Okay, so if you guys want to start, so if you just use the A4 piece of paper, I can help you out with cutting the tape here if you need. It might be best if you maybe cut 3 or 4 pieces of tape and then stick them on the table. And to make the darts, you can also use stickered pads, stickered notebooks, stickered notepads or that.
About 1 to 2 centimetres in diameter, yeah?
Yes, and try to make the tube as straight as possible. Probably a little bit tighter than that. Yeah, just a little bit, just to. It's fine if you just bang it. Try and make sure it's as straight as possible. Okay. Tape on the middle first should hold it in place. The tip needs to be very tight so that you don't have a gap on the top. If you can't do this fine, you can just pinch the end of it. Yeah. It works easier if you take just the point.
Yeah.
Actually, fold it like that.
Like an ice cream cone.
Yeah. Okay. Your hand. So basically, like that. I'll start it off for you. Just grab the inside piece of the as tight as possible. Before you cut it, yeah, that's perfect. So it's made some resistance.
Yeah.
So you can actually bend it a little bit there,
Right.
and you can actually take a millimetre off the actual tube with that inside it. Before you tie it, if you hang on a second,
Yeah.
and that's exactly the same. As soon as it meets some resistance,
Yeah.
you can cut off a millimetre of the actual tube. So if you just
Oh, the actual tube itself.
Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so now we've constructed them, we know what we need. If you guys want to maybe stand over here so we don't get Judith, and we'll maybe aim for the rubbish bin. A short, sharp burst.
Wow.
Work better than mine. Okay. So as we can see, they're not overly accurate. If you had the pin inside, that would increase the weight, etc., and that would improve accuracy and distance. So if you've got any kids, you could, set up a little target for them in your lounge or outside somewhere where it's safe. You've both done really well. And okay, so are you able to tell me what equipment you need to create one of these?
Yeah, paper, 2 sides of paper, A4 and probably an A5 by the looks of things.
Yes. Okay.
Scissors, sellotape,
And a mouth.
and a mouth,
Okay.
bit of strength. A pin with a ball in the end of it,
Yeah, that's correct.
and a bit of glue.
A bit of glue, that's right. And what about using it? What's the technique you need to?
A sharp draw.
Sharp.
That's correct, yes. Okay, that concludes my multi-teach lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope either you or your kids are able to have a bit of fun with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you.